It's been quite a while since I've made a Skyrim video. The fact is, there has been more conflict in Skyrim recently, as much conflict as one will find in a Waffle House. The constant updates, the constant breakup of mods and mod lists, and our sanity got me a little bit burned out, to be honest with you.
Leave me alone!
I've been busy, guys. I've been very busy. You guys have voted for today's episode, and today I'm going to cover mods you can use that are going to improve your vanilla Skyrim. It doesn't matter if you want to run 100 or 1000 mods. You can use those mods I am going to include here because those specific mods, in my humble opinion, they are doing so much for so little. So I'm going to showcase some of those. If you are new to the channel, only 5.3% of you guys who are watching those videos are actually subscribed. It doesn't cost anything, it's free, and if you don't like something about this type of content, you can let me know down in the comment section. Any feedback will be very much appreciated. Very quick before we start, all of the mods I am going to mention in this video, they work for any version of your Skyrim that Todd Howard wants to sell you again.
You dork. Go back to the chess club. Who's laughing now?
Go suck a dick.
The first mod is AI Overhaul. That's a fantastic mod that is going to fix the broken AI in Skyrim. NPCs in Skyrim, they're acting like they're prisoners in a mental asylum.
How are you?
Been better. How about you?
Which sometimes makes me think this is actually not very far from real life. This is a mod that everybody should have in their mod list. This is the best AI overhaul type of mod you will find on the Nexus, and it is going to give all of the NPCs different interactions, different routes. It completely enhances your game, and it's going to give you so much to do in your many playthroughs. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and grab this one. Next we have footprints. This is going to add footprints in your game. This should be included in any mod. The reason why I'm including this is because we've got this new mod by R.A.S.S that alters the texture when it comes to footprints, making it feel much more 3D, giving finally footprints in Skyrim the texture overhaul they desire to have. Next we have Simplicity of Snow, which fixes a lot of the bugs when it comes to snow. Skyrim is a region, in case you don't know, that has a lot of snow. It reminds me a lot of Scandinavian countries that when it comes to summer, they have to imagine how sun looks like, and sometimes the snow is very glitchy, very weird, and has many bugs. It's a mod that should be included in any mod list. There is a bunch of different snow type of overhauls on the Nexus, and everybody's using a different one. This, guys, is the best one you can get. You need to get this over any other type of snow overhaul. And on top of that, you are going to put shaders of Solstheim, which is going to fix the ass in Solstheim. But Kavou, it is not called Solstheim. Listen, this is my home, I can call it whatever I want. This mod, similar to Simplicity of Snow and similar to all of the mods I am going to include on my videos, they are scriptless, they are not going to cause issues into your game, and the more mods you want to get, the more reasons you have to include Simplicity of Snow and shaders of Solstheim. Next you want to go and grab R.A.S.S. R.A.S.S is an improved version of Wet and Cold. Wet and Cold being a fantastic mod that everybody knows, it's an extremely heavy mod that is going to slow down your game. R.A.S.S and Raid, on the other hand, gives you many more options, you can tweak settings, and it also doesn't run that many scripts anymore. Put that also on your load order. Next you want to put the complete crafting overhaul into your game and also combine that with Ars Metallica. Those two mods are exactly what is missing in the vanilla game when it comes to crafting anything you want, having way more options and giving you a reason to actually craft things in this game. Don't forget to thumbs up the video, guys. C.O.I.N is fantastic mod that I don't see many people talk about. Don't you find it weird in Skyrim, a game that has so many cultures, so many elements into it and different races and all of that?
High elves practice inbreeding to maintain their ancestral features, so bear that lack of genetic diversity in mind when you hear them talk down to inferior races.
We only have septims? Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a septim in real life? Neither have I. Jokes aside, this mod is going to add a bunch of different coins. When I first saw this mod a few years ago, I thought it was something very light, but the more I play with this mod, it makes the world feel so much more fresh. It gives most of the races different coins, so you go out and collect them, they have different values. It just makes exploring so much more immersive, and it's going to give you the feeling of playing Skyrim for the first time. It's really nice, and lore-wise it enhances everything Skyrim stands for, and you want to put this on your vanilla Skyrim as well. I don't usually cover a lot on vampire type of mods because I usually spend more time killing them than being one, in Skyrim of course. This is DVA, aka Dynamic Vampire Appearance. Just like in real life, the deeper you go into vampirism, the stronger the symptoms you will have. First, you will look young and beautiful, and the more time passes, you're going to look more deviant and without hair. This is going to add a bunch of different type of variations when you fight a vampire. For instance, when you see young looking vampires, you know they're young, so they're like level 1 crooks you can take easily down. But when you see a bloody, rugged looking vampire, you know that shit is about to get real. Vampires finally will not look the same. I do not run Skyrim Immersive Creatures because Skyrim Immersive Creatures is an extremely bad mod that is going to crush your game. Mods like that, like DVA, are mods that we desperately need in order to fill the gap of enemy variations in clever ways. So give this mod a shot. Next we have a small mod called Name Those Ass Bags. You never get a text when you kill someone and turns into fairy dust or this weird looking ass type of pile. I like this one because it gives you the information you need, that anytime you kill someone that you encounter, you can go back and you remember the person you turned into liquid sunguide. We don't have quick loot yet or anything like that as I'm making this video, so I'm going around back and forth like a platypus, checking those ass piles to find the correct one. It's not really something you want to do. Here is this mod to fix that. Made by Power of 3. We have Dynamic Things Alternative, and this mod completely changes how you play Skyrim. You know all of the miscellaneous things you find in Skyrim? Now you can interact with those and loot them. For instance, you can loot the mammoth skulls to grab the tasks, you can loot barrels to find random things, you can loot all of those small things you see in the world, and you could never do anything with those. So this mod completely enhances Skyrim in every single way. One thing I have to say before you install this is that make sure you have both of the requirements. Let's enhance the world with some mods that for some reason nobody's actually covering. We have Immersive Shortcuts, which is going to add shortcuts into the game. They will come in the form of caves and mines in locations that you've never seen before. Nobody ever has used them to do anything in the game, aka caverns or underground type of series that connect through different regions of the world. So if you play on survival, if you like traveling in real time and not fast traveling, this gives you something new to do and a new way to travel in game. We're getting new dungeons, we're getting new things added. It's a fantastic mod, so go ahead and install this. You want to mix that with Skyrim Ferries, which is going to add a system of boats and ferries in locations again that nobody's using from my experience when it comes to modding, so you can actually use those ferries to travel in different regions and different places. It's a fantastic mod, and I think everyone should have this in their mod list. Then also go and grab the carriage and ferry travel overhaul, which is going to add a bunch of extra options for you to travel around and explore Skyrim. Next, you want to fix the dungeons in Skyrim because, let's be honest, they look as boring as my videos. Dungeons Revisited is fixing that by enhancing over 30 dungeons that you will encounter for quests such as Bleakfall's Barrow. Your playthroughs will feel new with this mod, and you want to slap on top of that one the Navigator Nave Mesh fixes, which has a patch for Dungeons Revisited. Those two mods are going to fix so many issues with the vanilla dungeons, so you should definitely not sleep on that one. Mums the world. This mod makes it where the stolen worthless items you are going to steal, they don't remain stolen, aka they don't have the stolen tag if nobody sees you stealing them, which makes sense. and it's a mod that I think everybody should have in their mod list. Now when it comes to graphics and all this type of stuff, I am going to make a specific video about that coming up soon. We're doing how to improve your vanilla Skyrim, so I want to cover way more specific mods. Xavbio is a fantastic modder, and if you go to his page, which you should, he's having amazing looking retextures for any type of armor. As you can see, I have every single retexture of his installed into my game. Every time I see Xavbio posting a mod on Nexus, I go out and collect it as I was as ketchup catching Pokemon. His mods and his overhauls are absolutely fantastic. This is the most recent upload he has, and it completely changes how robes look in the game. Variations, I love the vanilla armor, so anything that expands on that and builds on top of that, it's a W in my opinion. You want to combine Xavbio's mods, starting with armor and clothing extension. These work with all of the Xavbio mods that is going to extend the amount of armors and clothes you can get in game, and they all look fantastic. Go to the requirements, and as you can see, you need to grab rusty clothing and weapons and armor clutter fixes, so go ahead and grab both of those. I am going to speedrun the next 4 mods. Go ahead and grab Immersive Armors, Immersive Weapons, Improved Close Helmets, and also the equivalent Creation Club Close Helmets. This makes the helmets to look exactly as you see here, which makes it so much more realistic, gives so much more life to all of the sets, and when you are putting all of those mods and you put Xavbio's retextures, we are asserting the Skyrim version of Exodia when it comes to having the best, most badass looking armors, and you will always have something great to wear and use in your game. Coming up next, I am going to give you some basic suggestions to get more content and more things to do in the terms of new quests and new locations. I usually don't like to put new quests in new locations, and that might surprise you. The reason why I don't like adding those is because I like improving the existing world in Skyrim and making it feel more alive and better. Usually mods that add new quests and new locations are very buggy, and I'm not the biggest fan of those. However, those next 4 mods are specifically unique because they are the best quest mods you can find on the market right now. Let's start with my most favorite mod, Vigilant. I think I don't need to explain this one. It is such a fantastic mod. It builds up on the lore of Skyrim, and it gives this dark aesthetic into it that I think it was missing. We also have Unslaad that expands on the lore when it comes to the Dragonborns, and also gives you this setting with snow of you dwelling into a deeper winter area of Skyrim, and again in a similar fashion to Vigilant, this mod is fantastic for the content it gives you. You want to go for both of those and install the requirements as usual for any mod. Both Fus Roda and Sky UI, they work for both Anniversary Edition and Special Edition. Then we have Skyrim Extended Cut. This mod is the best quest mod we've got in the recent history of Skyrim. I don't see anything topping these guys aside from Sky Oblivion coming in the next few years. Go ahead and grab this one. And lastly, when it comes to new quests and new locations, I'm going to cheat my way here, and I'm not going to give you one, but dozens of choices. We have Jayserpa, sounds like a spell in a Harry Potter movie. Jayserpa makes some of the best quest mods you can find in Skyrim compared to the mods I covered before like Vigilant and Unslaad. The difference in his mod is that there are small mods that enhances specific locations, and once you combine all of his mods together, like the Face Scatter Expanded, or Innocence Lost, or the Whispering Door, one of my most favorite quests in vanilla Skyrim, College of Winterhold, House of Horrors, as you can see, Parthenax quest expansion. There are so many you can get. I just love his mods so much. Now closing the video, I'm going to jump into some combat and animation type of mods, just enough to give this little bit of spice of life that Skyrim so much deserves, because let's be honest guys, vanilla Skyrim hasn't aged very well on that department. and sometimes it feels as hollow as I am when I'm making those videos. We have Vokriinator, which is a series of mods that they include all of the mods you see here on the requirement page.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
That once you follow the steps and install them properly, for instance, if you scroll down, you see he explains to you how to install those. You get Mysticism first, you get Sperk, Adamant on 5.8, Path of Sorcery, and the list goes on. Grab all of his files as he tells you to do so, and once you combine all of those, we are going to sandwich Vokriinator with Experience. Those two, we're combining them and we're going to have the best type of progression system for Skyrim. Infinite amount of choices when it comes to talent trees and builds and anything your heart desires when it comes to picking a class and doing anything you want. And also you're going to get so many more new spells and ways to play the game, and Experience changes the crappy leveling system of Skyrim. It makes it feel similar to you playing Dark Souls, where by killing things, by reading books, and by doing quests, you are gathering experience instead of the boring vanilla Skyrim type of leveling system. It has an MCM menu where you can tweak the changes, so combine those two and have Skyrim never be the same again. And then you want to go and grab Wildcat, which actually has received a new version, guys. After so many years, we actually got a new version of Wildcat. And Wildcat is a fantastic mod that is going to enhance the combat, make it more dramatic by adding injuries and a bunch of different other effects. If you're playing an Anniversary Edition, sadly some of the best combat mods, they do not work right now with the latest version of the game, like Valhalla combat or True Directional Movement. Wildcat is a basic one that always works in any lot order. It really makes the vanilla gameplay feel so much more better. Make sure if you're playing Special Edition and if you're going to include Wildcat with, let's say, Valhalla, to remove the time block. And lastly, I like to use Greatsword block and bash hit animations, which changes how the block and bash works with two-handed weapons. It makes it look way more realistic, as you see, than the vanilla Skyrim. The reason why I like this mod and the following mods I am going to cover is because those animations feel very much like the same ones in vanilla, but slightly adjust, where it makes it feel fresh and new again. They are scriptless, don't take that much space, and you should have any reason to use those if you like the vanilla type of approach. And on top of that, you want to go and grab the absolutely average animations, which is one of my most favorite animation modes of all time. Sometimes you don't need something complex, you just need something that just works. And this mod, again, as you can see, has very similar animations with the vanilla game, but they are slightly adjusted and they feel different and much more unique. You should definitely get this mod if you like the vanilla animations but you wish they were much better. Go also and pick Precision. If I could think a single mod that single-handedly completely changes how Skyrim plays out into making it feel so much more better of a game, this is the mod. Precision is the best mod we have when it comes to precise combat animations. It works amazingly with the vanilla animations or the animations I've included in this video. I could literally make this whole video be about Precision and how much it is going to change your game. Don't forget to always install the requirements. I have a last mod before I'm going to close this video. Very quick, I want to state that about this mod, it only works for Special Edition, and this is Blade and Blunt. This makes it where, similar to Dungeons and Dragons, or you have different type of damage when it comes to swings. You have thrust, you have swings, and you have blunt type of damage and many more. It gives resistances to enemies, it increases the difficulty of the combat, it gives stagger, unique effects, every type of weapon deals different type of damage, and this is such a complex mod, and it blew up and it keeps blowing up. I am so sad I cannot use this right now on Anniversary Edition, but if you play Special Edition you can have this. I would recommend you to go and watch a video or two of what this mod actually does. It has to be maybe the best mod out there that completely changes how combat works in Skyrim, making the game feel like an actual RPG. And that being said, that was the video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this type of content, it takes me many hours of research and editing to make those, so feel free to throw a like and sub. You are a trooper for making it to the end of the video, and thank you so much for watching. I wish you to have a happy day, and I will see you in a few days for the next Skyrim type of video. I'm gonna make lots of those, guys. So until next time, adventurer, happy modding.